Hello there, and welcome to our Shield of the Sun video. Now, in this video, what I'd like to do is do part two, or the other installment for Before Let There Be Light. So, I'd like you to join me back into the Book of Job, and we're gonna have to start there in chapter 39 in verse 1. Knowest thou the time when the wild goats of the rock bring forth, or canst thou mark when the hides do clave? So in the beginning, it was already determined how many animals would be born in certain space-time eras of our temporal reality. For instance, let's just say Chicago. It's 1988. So in the beginning, a long time ago, when the blueprints of all creation was put down and fusionated and what would go where, this was all done by the numbers, and the numbers in God's mind, along with the celestial force, power, and imagination and creativity, all came in fusionation and in sequence. Together, boom, instantaneous creation. So what we have is to understand Chicago 1988 being prepared in heaven. So the thinking is, so how many deer you want running around the forest preserve? How about it produces about, let's say, 100 a month? It's maybe too many. Think so? Yeah, maybe 100 by the end of the year. It might sound better. Okay, so 100 by the end of the year. Well, I don't know. Let's ask, God, it's 100 by the end of the year. Yes, sir. So 100 by the end of the year. So what they're doing is they're going to assess the blueprint. They're going to look at the blueprint and then ask God, what do you want? Because God put that all there. He created all the matter and the material there. Boom, boom, bam. So to understand, someone in heaven, a long time ago, being God, God in heaven decided how many animals, how many life forms will be in this region at this time and place. Canst thou number the months that they fulfill, or knowest thou the time when they bring forth? It's confirmation of what I'm saying. There's other edification that falls in line with it, but that's confirming what I'm saying. They bow themselves, they bring forth their young ones, they cast out their sorrows. Their young ones are in good liking. They grow up with corn, they go forth, and return not unto them. So that's to say what grows out wildly, that's to say what's already in nature. They go for it. So they know where to hunt, they know where to find food, they know how to give birth, and they know how to deal with their pain. This is interesting. I always find this part interesting. They cast out their sorrows. Like, people tend to want to, because animals suffer, as we know, and they suffer the things we suffer. They can suffer starvation, they can suffer death, they can suffer pain, they can suffer all of those things. But yet you never hear them complaining. Like you ever wonder about that? Like when the lions are getting genocided and killed, and one of them's got a spear ran through them, they don't complain. You got me with the spear, go ahead and eat. You want to kill me, kill me. You want to use my fur, use the fur. Cast out the sorrows. I don't care. You want to wear the mane, you want to do this, do that. I was already decided with God. God already decided how long I'm going to live, how large I'm going to grow, how many pups, kids, eggs I'm going to do, how many species of myself I'm going to reproduce or be used for that, which is accurate, being used for that. Like God already decided that. He even decided my pain, the levels, the threshold, all of it. So I cast it out because I didn't put it there. God put it there, so I'm just going to work the field until I'm done. So the animals don't take anything personally. We do. Who have sent out the wild ass free, or who have loosed the bands of the wild ass, whose house I have made the wilderness, and the barren land his dwellings. He scorneth the multitude of the city, neither regardeth he the crying of the driver. So this is to say, all determined from the start. How you would move, how you would travel, how you would move along vessels. Since the beginning, all decided. How will they have civilization? How will they move? How will they go to and fro? All decided. Whose house I have made the wilderness, and the barren land his dwellings. Well, where do you build your houses and your civilization at? Like, what did these places look like before there was this city or that city? Well, before there was cities in Indiana, what did Indiana look like? But before there were civilization in the United States or North America or anywhere in this world, what did it originally look like? A wilderness, barren land. He scorneth the multitude, the range of the mountains is his pasture, and he searcheth after every green thing. Will the unicorn be willing to serve thee, or abide by thy crib? So that's to say, there are things in nature that are uncontrollable. It cannot be wrangled. It cannot be bargained with. Cannot be used to break in, or break in, if you like. No breaking the unicorn. No, there's things you cannot control. And from the time of its birth to the time of its existence, leave you scratching your head about it. Maybe years later, you'll think this thing is a myth. And you'll be scratching your head on that too when you end up seeing one and you find out a whole history regarding it. Like right here in Job 39. Canst thou bind the unicorn with his band in the furrow, or will he harrow the valleys after thee? So this will show you the nature of what these animals are like. Like, it's like you want to rope one, make you my steed. You're going to love, oh my God. And then this thing is like trying to kill you. You're running. It's like it really, the thing with the unicorn is like if a horse has a problem with you, it might kick you, it might run you off a little bit and you got to come back. The unicorn won't stop till you're dead. That's what it's saying. When it's provoked, it does not stop till you're dead. It'll run after you in an open valley. It'll run after you to your home. It's going to pin you to something. It's not going to stop till you're gone. This is how determined it is not to be anyone's steed. Will thou trust him because his strength is great? Or will thou leave thy labor to him? That's to say, I mean, the men have tried it. It's strong, powerful men, and it just wasn't happening. Will thou believe him that he will bring home thy seed and gather it into thy barn? Meaning, will this work profit for you? Like, is this a good animal for cattle? I wonder how much money the unicorn's going to make for you if it doesn't, kill you first. It's interesting. Will thou believe him that he will bring home, gavest thou the goody wings unto the peacocks, or wings and feathers unto the ostrich? Which leaveth her legs in the earth, which leaveth her eggs in the earth, not her legs, eggs, which leaveth her eggs in the earth, and warmeth them in dust, and forgetteth that the foot may crush them, or that the wild beasts may break them. This is a simple trust. You see, it was decided from the beginning to have trust like that, and this was seen in nature, that animals would be born and created to exemplify this type of trust, that when the ostrich lays eggs in the earth, it's not worried about if it'll get crushed or not. We will worry. It's like, hey, man, is that thing all right? Got wind, dust, all kinds of stuff, But the ostrich is like, nah, I don't care. It'll be all right. It'll pop out of there, and I'll come back to him later. Well, how can you think like that? Because God told me to. It was already decided. It was already decided. Well, my little hatchlings, it was already decided how long they're going to live, how long they're going to grow, how large they will grow, and what their whole reproduction thing is going to be like, and where they're going to die at. It was already decided. In fact, I'm about to get eaten right now. That was decided too. I don't care. She is hardened against her young ones, as though they were not hers. Her labor is in vain without fear. That's confirming what I'm saying. You might think, man, the ostrich is pretty harsh. No, the ostrich is not harsh. It was commanded by God to understand that and know that. And when was that decided? Before the ostrich was even made. Before the ostrich was even created. It was decided in a time when there were no animals on earth. This was already decided. Because God hath deprived her of wisdom, neither hath he imparted to her understanding. What time she lifted up herself on high, she scorneth the horse and his rider. Hast thou given the horse strength? Hast thou clothed his neck with thunder? So an ostrich also, there were some that were so large in the past that they were good use for a steed. And that didn't work out very well either. It's saying there's nothing like the horse. Canst thou make him afraid as a grasshopper? The glory of his nostrils is terrible. And it's telling you the horse is very brave. It's telling you the brave horses were used for centuries in front-on cavalry armies because they had no problem running through there. Like once you get that horse going, it's going all the way with you. And you probably wonder, why is a horse like that? Like, bears tend not to fight. They'll fight with us, but they're not good for steeds. And these other animals, like the rhino, it would be pretty ideal. The Indian army in the ancient past used to use elephants, but they stopped doing that because the elephants kept crushing their troops. So this was like but it was a pretty cool idea. Why is a horse the most effective when it comes to cavalry animals in our past for military engagement? Because in the beginning it was already decided they would be. That these would be the steeds man would use in war. He paweth in the valley, and rejoiceth in his strength. He goeth on to meet the armed men. He mocketh at fear, and is not affrighted. Neither turneth he back from the sword. The quiver rattleth against him, the glittering spear, and the shield. It's confirming what I'm saying. Like the horse was already decided. Like for us, we always have these, if you ever had to face war, face battle, face violence, the first thing you feel is all of these things: the fear, the frightened nature, the anticipation, the rattling, the energy, the vibration, the violence, the thing that's about to come at you. It's unmitigated violence. This is not going to go well. Whether you win or lose, you're going to bleed. And so this is what we feel. This is what we're naturally going to have. Whereas horses, it's just like whatever. It's like, yeah, I know. I'm hoping for it. Let's go. Aren't you excited? We're going to get injured. I know it was already decided you were going to get injured. It was already, I was decided already for me at this battle and moment what was going to happen to me. So I'm good with it. Let's go. And I know you guys, all right. So, but I'm going to lead you. We're going to go there. So the horse was already had those qualities that soldiers have to develop to engage in war. They already had it because from the beginning it was already decided that they were going to be needed. So they would also be a form of inspiration to other soldiers too. So seeing the strength of a horse gives you inspiration to want to have that strength and be one with it. If the horse is yours, if that is something for your life. He swalloweth the ground with fierceness and rage. Neither believeth he that it is the sound of the trumpet. That's how much bravery the horse was given. That, there's a war going on. The trumpet's a sound of war in the text. And he doesn't care. This is like there's helicopters coming, the Apache and all of that. We got it all coming down on us. We've got a whole entire contingent on the way, air, land, and sea. You worried? No. Sounds great. I'm excited. God, I want to go. I'm going to go paw the field. I'll be back. I'm feeling so good right now. Love the ground. Doth the hawk fly by thy wisdom and stretch her wings toward the south? That's to say it does. And you're probably wondering how. It's like, how does a hawk think in wisdom? Or how does a hawk know where south is, or where north is, or where east is, or where west is? How does it even know that? It was already decided for the hawk to know that. The hawk, by the time it was born, it was already decided before the hawk even showed up. Here is what you're going to know. And how many of you are going to be in the sky? Doth the eagle mount up at thy command, and make her nest on high? It's to say it doesn't. It was already decided that the eagle would already know how to do that. The eagle will know how to mount up. The eagle is going to know how to make the nest. The eagle is going to know to take high position. The eagle is going to know how to be a bird of prey at the best militarized position. And within the understanding of the hawk and the eagle comes many forms of understanding of military strategical matters for mankind to learn, because that's what was decided. That nature and an environment would hold education for us to harness and use for our empowerment and endeavors that were also already decided before we even did it. She dwelleth and abideth on the rock, upon the crag of the rock, and the strong place. From thus she seeketh the prey, and her eyes behold afar off. Her young ones also suck up blood. And where the slain are, there is she. So they accept the matter that they have to devour, kill for their food. They accept the matter that that's how that goes. That they are carnivores because it was already decided from the beginning they would be carnivores. And it was already decided that this is who they would kill in their food and in their diet, and this is what they would eat. All these things were decided before they even happened. So everything you see in nature, rather good or rather might be unpleasant to you, it was already decided. Join me in prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us of our debts as we forgive those who are our debtors. Lead us not into temptation. Deliver us from evil, for thou art with us. For thine is the kingdom, power, and glory forever and ever. In the name of Jesus Christ, the King of heaven. Amen. Please remember to donate to Shield of the Sun using Cash App, the $ Shield of the Sun, spelled in small case letters closed together. Be very blessed and generous to donate, and it will greatly bless your life. And I want to say God bless you to each and every one of you, and I shall see you soon.